Okay, in this second video that is about the time data entry, this block, we're going to be looking just at the control level tools and what we can do with them. This is stuff that operates on all of the data that we already have in there. So let's take this first one, move between controls. This is handy if you've imported some data, but maybe you've imported it to the wrong place. Perhaps where it said that the data was supposed to go in the import, maybe that wasn't where it was supposed to go. So what we have here is here are the source of our times, and this will tell us how many times we have in each of these. And then here's the destination, and of course for each line it is the same. But for example, let's say that all of the times from Texas to from TID to start here, what if these were actually all from the start of Jordan Falls? So if we do this, we've selected that this is from the start. We can see that there are 2 times entered here. We can see that there are no times entered here, and then we can move all those times. So now here we see there are our 2 times, and of course it shows up in both places at those 2. So that's an easy way to move times between controls, and that moves the car numbers and the times. The PMAM conversion, what this is for is if we can essentially add 12 times. It's for dealing with when someone was supposed to put things in military time, say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they put 2 o'clock instead of 1400. Sometimes when you're doing that data entry, it's easier to do all the keying in what is exactly written on the sheet. You can just type faster that way, and then come back here and say I want to add 12 hours. So if we're looking at this, to finish, we can just say add 12 hours, and there it's gone to 23, and we can subtract 12 hours, and it does the same operations on any control. So it's really it's a quick fix for a lot of the stuff, and the view goes just directly to the log for that stage. So converting times back and forth, handy to do some speedy data entry. Removing seconds, what we're talking about here is these are seconds that we don't expect to see. Now notice here that this is a stage finish. We have our red dot for the end of the stage, the stop, and it is grayed out. And so we are not given the option to remove seconds from stage finishes. But here at the start, since we typically run on even minutes, we are not expecting to see any times with seconds at a start. So we can investigate this and see what it is, and who knows why this was recorded as an 05. I mean, this is just test data. So so you might delete it here, or you might go back. What happens sometimes is you may have a volunteer who has run the entire arrival control with the clock in finish mode. So they're recording a full set of times down to the second instead of having the device automatically truncate it to the minute. And so you could be able to use this rollback seconds. It would keep the same data. So in this case, the 1120 and the 1121, it just cuts off the seconds and brings them, cuts the seconds back to 0. So that's what it does when we do this rollback seconds here. So now those seconds are gone, and there's no more issues there. We've cut them off. And finally, we also have a bulk delete. This is a little dangerous. You don't want to delete all your times, but generally it's used in conjunction with the imports. If you import some data and you just say, oh, I sent that to the wrong control, I just wanted to delete it and start over. So here we have TID to finish, and we said that is just not the right stuff, or Jordan start. Let's just delete all those times. So we do have to, in order to delete it, this abbreviation right here, TC4S, we have to do TC4S. Now, if we even try S, if we don't get it exactly right, it just tells us that it does not match. So there is that safety guard that you do have to very clearly know what you are trying to delete before you can delete it. So that gives us some very handy tools for working on data at a bulk level, and the kind of thing where you're like, oh good, I don't have to load 50 pages to fix this problem.